Sometimes we discover that when we administer medication for a particular disease, after some times there is chances of reoccurring of this disease. Now, the problem is not just the medication, but there are certain things that cause reoccurring of this disease, and after treating, we tend to go back and administer the treatment again, making us as a farmers to run at loss. On this video, I'm going to state different things that can cause this disease to reoccur and how to control them. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon to get regular updates whenever I upload a new video. Give me a thumbs up and also share so that others can benefit as well. On this video, I'm going to explain the effect of overcrowding. Most times, a lot of these diseases that we see or we experience in poultry is as a result of overcrowding. And when overcrowding occurs, you keep on spending money on medication, whereas just a simple trick to it, the problem will be solved. There are a lot of diseases that are conversant with overcrowding in poultry farm, and I'm going to list various effects of this overcrowding and how you can control them. Overcrowding in poultry farm creates a lot of stress and poor living condition that can directly lead to disease outbreak. And I'm going to give a breakdown of how overcrowding causes diseases in poultry. Now, the first point I'm going to talk about, number one, is it increases the feces accumulation. What happens is that when you have too many birds in one place, you discover that they defecate often, and by the time they defecate, there is a high accumulation of feces on the poultry farm. And the more the birds, the more the droppings in a very small area. So this can cause disease outbreak. Another point is that the litter becomes dirty and wet quickly, and this will create a kind of breeding ground for diseases. Don't worry, I'm going to list some of these diseases that will occur often when you jam-packed your poultry farm or when you overstock your birds. So now what happens at this point is that you just discover that you changed the litters today, and by the next day, in less than 24 hours, the whole place becomes soaked and damp. That is a sign that the space is not enough for the birds. And in this case, some of the diseases that are likely going to occur are 1. Coccidiosis, 2. Salmonella, then 3. Worms and parasite. These 3 diseases are conversant with overstocking in poultry, most especially broilers producers. Then number 2, causes of overcrowding, and the solution is poor air quality. Now, when you have high density, there is higher chances of ammonia buildup, and this ammonia buildup comes from the droppings. And in this case, poultry or your broilers are more likely to have some diseases, and you keep on treating these diseases all to no avail. What happens is that when there is ammonia buildup, it damages the bird's respiratory tract, and this will make them to be prone to chronic respiratory disease, which we call CROD. They can also have infectious bronchitis, and they can also have Newcastle disease. So you now discover that if you have a poultry farm and you overstock and you are having cases of CROD, you treat, after some time it stops, then it comes back again. It could likely be that you are overstocking the pen, because in that case there is poor air quality. Then the number 3 point is high stress level. Now, when you overstock your birds, there is every tendency that the birds will be subjected to stress, and when birds are subjected to stress, it weakens their immune system and makes them more susceptible to diseases. First thing is that the birds, they fight over space, they will fight over feed, and they will fight over water, and this will increase the stress, which will now weaken their immune system. And once the immune system is weak, it will result to increased disease susceptibility. Any slightest mistake, there will be disease outbreak and it will affect a lot of the birds. Then it will also cause slow growth rate. You discover that your birds will not grow as they ought to grow. Then it will also lead to feather pecking or cannibalism. Sometimes you see a situation whereby your birds will just start cannibalizing. This is as a result of higher levels of stress in them. Please, if you are getting good information from this video, kindly help me to grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button. Turn on the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Give this video a like, comment, and most importantly, share for others to benefit. Thanks. Then the fourth point is easier disease spread. In this case, there is easily spread of disease within the flock or within the birds or within the poultry because there is this close contact with the birds. So once one comes down with disease, before you know it, they've started incubating and it has spread all around the poultry pen. So close contact, it means that there is infection that will be spread faster, because one sick bird can infect many through the droppings, through sneezing or feed. And in this case, the diseases that are likely going to affect these birds are fowl pox, avian influenza, which we call bird flu, and Marek disease. All these diseases, they spread rapidly and you have to guide against them. So try as much as possible to avoid overstocking or overcrowding. Then the fifth point is uneven access to feed and water. This is another major challenge that you will face if you overstock your birds. The dominant birds will push the weaker ones aside, and so these weaker ones will starve and they will not grow to meet up the market size on time. While some birds will starve or get dehydrated, and this will make them to fall sick or they will become stunted. The weak birds are easy targets for infections. So you discover that the smaller ones which refuse to grow, they are more susceptible to diseases. And once those smaller ones get infected with disease, they will transfer it to the bigger ones, and you have loss of birds. Then the sixth point is heat stress. Too many birds raise the pen's temperature and humidity because once there is heat, there will be stress. And once there is stress, the immune system will be weak. And once the immune system is weak, before you know, there will be sudden death. If there is no sudden death, you will have heat stroke or you will have respiratory infections in the birds. And if you have laying birds, it will reduce the egg laying of the birds. So these are 6 areas that overstocking could cause you harm. One thing you should know that if the space can contain 100 birds, when the birds were 1 to 2 weeks, by the time they grow to 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, they will take more space. So you have to split them, grade them or sort them so that they can grow very well. I believe you've gotten a tangible information from this video. Please help me to grow my channel by subscribing, like, comment, and share for others to benefit. Thanks and God bless. See you in my next video. Peace out with love. Thanks.